The wind carried the sound of patriotism this Memorial Day as Andrews County veterans and supporters hit the road for a ride to remember. A tribute honoring America's fallen heroes in a way only this community can. This week, the halls of Yarborough Elementary are filled with more than just appreciation. They're filled with emotion. After 50 years of education, Principal Jill Arthur is retiring, leaving behind a legacy that generations of students and teachers won't forget. Yeah, it's been a rough start for the home team Midland Christian Mustangs as they are down at halftime 21-6. Now, the visiting Saints, they came to play. They scored 3 touchdowns on their first 3 drives. Here in Andrews, the Mustang Bulls acting as the neutral site for tonight's playoff game between Lubbock Estacado and Fort Stockton. Lubbock Estacado is currently leading at halftime 18-13. I'm standing at the new roundabout at North Garfield Street and West Cuthbert Avenue, where traffic is flowing, but not without a little confusion. If you've never used a roundabout before, here are the do's and don'ts of roundabout driving. The home team Andrews Mustangs are giving their home crowd a show as they are up 36-0 at halftime. This is actually the street where a 9-year-old was hit a few days ago. Between crosswalks and speed bumps, officials are exploring solutions to prevent future tragedies.
This Memorial Day, the Andrews County Veterans Board brought together bikers, veterans, and families for a powerful tribute honoring those who made the ultimate sacrifice. Our First Alert 7 Sierra Burnett joins us from Andrews County with more on the stories, salutes, and patriotism that filled the streets. Sierra?
The wind carried the sound of patriotism this Memorial Day as Andrews County veterans and supporters hit the road for a ride to remember. A tribute honoring America's fallen heroes in a way only this community can. The Ride to Remember recognizes all of the dedicated members of the American military for their service to our country.
It's all about those that have given this ultimate sacrifice, so this is our way of honoring those that didn't come home.
The Andrews County Veterans Board has been honoring fallen soldiers through a Ride to Remember for 26 years. Hundreds of bikers rode in honor of their loved ones, friends, and community members.
I think it's a good way to remember those folks that have come before us and to hopefully inspire the next generation to do the same and to remember those, and to also remind yourselves that we should all at some point be servants to our communities and to our country as a whole.
The ride started in Midland at the Permian Basin Vietnam Memorial and finished at the Andrews County Veterans Memorial. Veterans were cheered on throughout every city with horns, flags, and thank yous.
Everybody's sitting down the highways for all of us motorcyclists can be safe going down the highways, and all the participants or the bystanders on the side, with their flags and cheering us on and everything. It makes me want to cry.
Friends and family members of the Andrews County fallen heroes laid a wreath in their honor. There were 7 wreaths laid for First Lieutenant James Frank Miles, Sergeant Rex W. Hamilton, Major Robert Bob Francis Anthony, Staff Sergeant Ronald D. Horn, Sergeant Kenneth Lee Boykin, Corporal Ray M. Bevel, and Sergeant John Paul Castro.
The thing today that means the most to me is remembering those who made the ultimate sacrifice so that we could be standing here doing what we're doing today.
Today honors the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Reporting for First Alert 7 News, I'm Sierra Burnett.
As Teacher Appreciation Week continues, one local elementary school is celebrating more than just its educators. It's also a heartfelt farewell to a beloved principal.
Our First Alert 7 Sierra Burnett spoke with the longtime principal of Yarborough Elementary, Jill Arthur, on saying goodbye to education after 5 decades of service. Sierra?
This week, the halls of Yarborough Elementary are filled with more than just appreciation. They're filled with emotion. After 50 years of education, Principal Jill Arthur is retiring, leaving behind a legacy that generations of students and teachers won't forget.
What is one word that you describe yourself?
Servant. I'm a servant leader.
Jill Arthur knew that she wanted to pursue a career in education since she was a little girl. She says her mother was a natural teacher, which made her want to follow that same path.
I'd get the dolls out and teach them. I'd, get all the neighborhood kids to come over, and my mother would buy me sidewalk chalk, and I would, play school out on the sidewalk.
Arthur is currently the longest tenured principal in Midland. She's now been the principal of Yarborough Elementary for 10 years. But before becoming a principal, she was a teacher for 20 years. One of her biggest accomplishments was her contribution to the creation of Barbara B. Yarborough Elementary School. Her favorite thing about teaching is
the children. I love the children. I like to try to make a difference in their life.
As Arthur's 50-year career in education comes to an end, the one thing she recommends to her fellow principals are to keep the family culture. She says getting to know the students and their families has helped her build relationships in the community she loves.
I've often said that I may not have been the best wife, I may not have been the best mother, but I was the best teacher.
Even though Principal Jill Arthur is retiring, she will stay involved with the school districts and its community. Reporting for First Alert 7 News, I'm Sierra Burnett.